The last point I made on my last episode, called Is Bigger Than the Oscars, I was talking about too much information that's given between couples and other parties, right? I was saying that leaked information, well, in this particular case, it wouldn't even leak, but how it can lead to destruction. Say my wife has an infidelity problem, which she doesn't because she knows who she's married to, but that's neither here nor there. If she did, and everyone around me knew it, and she was even telling people boldly enough, it's going to be that one time that we're at a party and a guy steps to my wife, they looking real cozy, but instead of me checking my wife, I haul off and punch the dude. He was never the problem. My wife was. All the leaked information, the side eyes, the whispers, is what forced me to make this bad decision. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. You're now rocking with Jay Riggins, and I am the host of the Unapologetic Relationship Podcast, brought to you by the fine folks at the Podfire Network. This is a continuation from the previous episode called It's Bigger Than the Oscars, and you definitely don't want to miss this one. But you're going to have to hold on, because I'll be right back after I pay some bills. Back. Thanks for joining us. I'm so excited to put the final touches on this continued episode. Too much information. It's Bigger Than the Oscars Part 2. So if you tuned into the last episode, I was giving my opinion and discussing why the Oscars incident was much bigger than what it was. What led up to the incident that got Will Smith banned for 10 years? And that's a bit much. I can't say I agree with the decision, but like I told you in the last episode, every action has a reaction. And some are slaps on the wrist, no pun intended, and some are not. It can even depend on what color and gender you are, but that ain't my podcast. This is all about relationships. This ain't a political or gossip podcast. Just ask yourself one question so we can go ahead and get this started. And the question is, why do we tell people our personal business? Are you listening? Why do we tell people our personal business? Is it because we're lonely and we need friends? Is that it? My mama told me a long time ago, I was little. She said, misery loves company. And when you're little, you don't realize what it means. But when you become an adult, that's when all the light bulbs come on. I'm pretty sure many of you guys listening, many of you girls listening, men and women, sorry about that. You got some friends. You got a partner, guys. Ladies, you got a girlfriend, got a homegirl. When you tell her, or you guys, you tell him something good that's going on in your relationship. Yeah, me and my wife just got some matching tattoos. Me and my girlfriend just got some matching tattoos. Or we're going on a trip, or blah, blah, blah. You'll hear, you get a shoulder shrug, or, oh, that's nice. But when you open your mouth and start that gossip and start giving all the meat and potatoes of what's going on behind closed doors, you have the full attention. And that's the sad part. And this could be close friends. This could be family members. This could be coworkers. This could be anybody. When you tell them something good, like I said, you get the shoulder shrug. You get the, they might change the subject on you. Because a lot of people really don't want to hear that nicey poo poo stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like they want to hear the gossip. They want to hear the ratchetness. And it's sad because you would think that people want to hear something positive. But a lot of times that's just not the case. And let's be real. What are these people's motives? These people that you're hanging out with, what are their motives? Do you have a friend that, needs a spades partner? You know what I'm saying? Does she need somebody to go to the club with her? So she wants you to be just as miserable and single as she is. So she can have somebody to hang out with. That's a fact for a lot of people. And I'm not just saying single people are the only ones that can be messy. It can be some married messy people too. It's some people in relationships that are just as messy. you know? And here's another thing too. On social media, doesn't it seem like every time you post something good about your relationship or about your life in general, you might get 3 or 4 likes, depending on who you are, because some people just got friends that they just like everything. But for the average person, you post something, you got a degree, you get a couple likes. You post something ratchet or just full of gossip, and you get 100 comments and likes and thumbs up and all that other stuff. That's the sad part about the world we live in. People like foolishness. They don't want to see vacation pictures. They want to hear people going through turmoil because you don't know what these other people. And I'm saying, I hope you know your friends and your family, enough about them. But you really, unless they tell you everything that's going on behind closed doors, you really don't know what's going on behind closed doors with your family and friends. Some people, even family and friends, sad to say, some people want to see you miserable. And some of these people are close to you. It's just a mechanism. It's something that kicks on in our head. And I don't think a lot of people even realize they're doing it or is doing it unintentionally. I can say that. I don't think a lot of people are doing it intentionally. I think a lot of people hate mechanism. A lot of people got hate mechanisms and they don't even know it. That hate mechanism kicks in. If I'm saying it right, because I done said it about 50 times. It kicks in. And they don't even know they're doing it. I see people on social media that'll post a grilled cheese sandwich and get 150 likes. Oh, you did that. You did that. But then, like I said, somebody will post a walk at the park where they're holding hands and just, you know what I mean? The birds is flying around and the butterflies. And it's just a beautiful picture. And they get 2. Why is that? Why is that that's a part of our society? Ask yourself, are you the enemy? Do you give up information before anyone even asks? Yes, celebrity gossip has been on the forefront for months now. But what about you, Mr. Airport Worker? Or Miss Corporate America? Are you the reason why people despise you as a couple? Because you got drunk at the Christmas party and told everybody how your man likes to put on wigs to please you in the bedroom? We can be our own worst enemies, and I know we've heard that 1,000 times, but it's true. Giving up too much information when nobody asks you makes you your own worst enemy. We'll spill it all. And the crazy part about it is we'll spill it all to people who hadn't been in a relationship since the first Fresh Prince of Bel-Air came out. Right? Or we'll talk to someone who hasn't had 10 relationships in 3 months. That's who we confide in. We sabotage our own relationships for what? A head nod? A laugh? Too much information. Here's the thing, people. If you have nothing positive to say about your relationship, don't say anything. I'm going to say that again. If you have nothing positive to say about your relationship, just don't say anything. Aren't we supposed to lift up each other and help each other in the relationship area? Someone, like we say, the OGs, the OGs of relationships has been in, relationships for 20 plus years. Those are the OGs. Shouldn't we, because I'm one of them, shouldn't we be taking the younger generations and younger couples under our wings, whether they're single or not? Because we've been single before. Taking them under our wing and showing them what real relationships should be. And I'm not saying candy coat everything. You know, I'm not saying candy coat and make it, make the relationship seem like this, it's perfect and we have no flaws, because we do. We're human. But shouldn't we tell younger couples, or just couples in general, or single, just people in general? Let's put it like that. It don't even matter if it's a couple or someone looking for a relationship, or it's just asking questions. Shouldn't we tell them how to make a relationship work, how to make it last? Not the negative parts of the relationship, not the crazy parts of the relationship, but the good parts of the relationship. I mean, that's the reason why I wrote my book, What a Man Really Wants to Say About Relationships. The first one, it was just that title. I rewrote it, What a Man Really Wants to Say About Relationships, Revised and Unapologetic, because I felt that there was some more stuff I needed to talk about. You know, life changes, society changes. And I hate to say it, but relationships aren't as popular as they once were. And I wonder why. Because some of us talk too much. And some of us, and not only do we talk too much, we say the wrong things about relationships. So we actually scare people off from wanting to have a relationship. That's the sad part. You know? So in my book, I'm talking about everything. If you read my book, I'm not talking about how good and great a relationship is. I'm talking about everything. But I'm not saying it in a way to scare somebody off from wanting to have a relationship. Or it's not a gossip book. You know what I mean? Some people it's not a tell-all book. I'll put it like that. It's a relationship book. You have ups and downs, and this is what you do about it. Am I 100% correct? No, I'm human. Some of my opinions you might not value. Some of them you might. That's with any book. I hope you don't read somebody's book and think that it's the law. I hope you don't read any relationship book, including mine, and think that it's the absolute law. Because there's something in there for everybody, but it's some stuff that might not pertain to you. Right? But like I said, I wrote my book to be a relationship book, to help people, not hurt people. You know, there's gossip magazines and gossip books, you know, out there, and people know what they're there for. They know how to get at these books. But in relationships, I just feel like we owe it, especially for relationship authors and relationship podcasts, hosts. I feel like we owe it to the people to tell them the good things about relationships, how to conquer certain situations, roadblocks, not to tear anybody down. And for the couples that's out there tearing their mate, their significant other down, shame on you. Shame on you. Because if you're tearing them down, what are you allowing other people to do? I'm going to say that again. If you're tearing them down, what are you allowing other people to do? You're allowing them to tear them down as well. So how are you going to possibly say to this person, oh, don't talk about my husband, don't talk about my wife, if you've been doing it and tearing them down and bad-mouthing them all along? And like I said, I'm going to repeat, who are you bad-mouthing them to? Who are these people? These perfect people? No one's perfect. People tell and spill their soul about their mate and their significant other to people who have absolutely nothing and don't want nothing and ain't gonna get nothing and ain't trying to get nothing. For the sake of what? Tea and a biscuit? To have a conversation just because? At lunch? In the break room, just spilling the tea about your relationship and all the negative stuff about your relationship, the sexual part of your relationship. Who does that? And I'm not picking on just no one individual. I'm picking on anybody who tells other people about their sexual relationship behind closed doors. Who does stuff like that? You should be ashamed. Sex is something sacred that shouldn't. Now, if you're going to tell people how to enhance it and how to make it better, that's different. But just to say, I don't like it, you should be ashamed. That's too much information. And another thing that people do, and this is the craziest thing, is people talk about their finances. Who needs to know about how much money y'all got? How much money he makes? How much money he blows at the casino? How much money he gives to his family? And blah, blah, blah. Who needs to know that other than y'all? Unless your friend is some kind of financial advisor, or if you're trying to get a loan from somebody, what is this person going to do for you when you tell her or him that you have financial problems? Are they going to be able to fix it? Are they going to be able to point you in the right direction? Or are you just gossiping? Or are you just telling people information just to be telling people? Just to get a pat on the, I don't know, because you ain't getting no pat on the back. Because as soon as you walk away from that person, they're going to tell another person. Did you get that? All of you gossip artists out there, that's the thing, gossip artists. All of you gossip artists out there, I hope you don't think that you're just going to tell this person and this person's not going to tell somebody else. That's just not how it works. It don't work like that, period. But there are certain things that boggles my mind that people tell other people, total strangers, coworkers, even family and friends don't need to know about certain things that go on in relationships. Now, if somebody's being abusive or if it's something like that, of course, we need to talk to somebody. You know what I'm saying? Before it gets too far, before something bad happens. I get that. But gossip? What person needs to know that your man can't perform in the bedroom? Or I'm going to do you one better. What person needs to know that he can perform great in the bedroom? You know who? Somebody who's going to take him from you. That's who needs to know. Because we put a lot of faith in family and friends when we gossiping about our relationships. And they be the main ones to sneak up into your spot and take that person. Men and women. Family and friends. And I'm not trying to be, the negative person here, but this is reality. There's things that we need to talk about and discuss in podcasts, on social media, whatever. Enough of the talking about the foolishness, and I get it, the Oscars. We already beat a dead horse. We've already discussed that. What about the Oscars? What did we get out of it? It was more than just a slap. And my heart goes out to Chris Rock and to Will Smith because both of them lost something that night. You heard me? Both of them lost something that night. You can figure out what they lost. You can read the news because I don't even really want to talk about that situation anymore. You can read what they lost and on the Twitters and the Instagrams and all of that stuff. I don't really care. Not saying I don't care about them as, black men, but I'm just saying the situation I don't care because I've had too many conversations with people that don't have a clue of what they're talking about this whole situation. So I'm really frustrated with the situation. But with anything bad or frustrating, you can get a jewel out of it. You dig? What do we get out of it? I got out of it that some things need to stay at home. You heard? Because a lot of times when that frustration at home or whatever's going on behind closed doors gets out to the public and other people know about it, it creates more frustration. To the point where somebody else say that one thing because you're already frustrated because your significant other has already told people about certain issues. You're already pissed. You're already frustrated. And that one person that says something that puts you over the edge will make you make a huge mistake. That's what I got out of the Oscars. And if you didn't get that out of the Oscars and you're still talking about who was right or wrong with the slap and the blah, 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 you didn't learn anything. And that's just my opinion. But this is my podcast. So in conclusion, I get it, people. We all have to vent at some point, else we'll bust. I get that. And everyone can't afford a therapist. So we usually end up talking to the unlicensed therapist. Lil Man and Shay Shay. And I ain't talking about Shannon Sharp either. I'm talking about the little Shay Shays in y'all life. You know, the ones with 5 kids and no man. We end up talking to them about our relationship and getting advice right. And I'm not judging nobody. I'm just talking. And like I said, I have 3 whole chapters in my book talking about giving and taking relationship advice. This particular episode is about what is too much information and when does venting cross the line. Let's be real. I know several people that are no longer together because of too much information, which, like I said, is the cousin of gossip. Too much information is gossip's little cousin, same bloodline. We think because we're telling a friend that it's different. We fool ourselves all the time. If you really do a tally of how much negative information or conversations you share with other people about your significant other, if the numbers are high, it's gossip. It's not venting. I'm going to make it even simpler. If you're always complaining about your girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, or wife, but you're still with this person, then it's gossip. You ain't about to bust a grape. You're not leaving. You ain't doing nothing. It becomes the chronicles of your relationship. And even your closest friends and family members will judge you for it. There she go with that no good so-and-so. Look at him. He even look broke. Look at his shoes. All because you told Lil Shay Shay about how your man mismanages his money. And fellas, what about telling the boys how your lady be working in the bedroom? How'd that work out? Men are predators. If we smell a loophole, we in there. And sometimes the closest ones to you will be the ones to violate because we have that access to you. Not all friends will take advantage, just the weird ones, because the real ones, they know better. Bottom line, I get it. We're human. We like to talk and vent and get things off our chest. But a lot of times in the heat of the moment, we don't realize what we say and how we say it. So it's amplified when it comes from your mouth to another person's ear, and it sticks with them. Oh, no, they ain't going to forget. And most of them are so entertained, they don't even use the 3 sides to every story logic. You know, your side, their side, and the truth. All I'm saying is don't expect for good things to happen in your relationship when you're telling everyone your business, especially ones that are in worse shape than you. And I don't mean physically. How is someone that has not been in a relationship over 20 years going to tell you how to fix yours? But like I said, even a broke clock is right twice a day. Think on that. And this has been an Unapologetic Relationship Podcast brought to you by the Podpire Network. And you can tune in every other Saturday on all platforms you get your podcast. Don't forget to spread the word about this nail-biting relationship podcast that will definitely stir up some conversations and hopefully nudge you in the right direction to a happy, healthy relationship. And please don't forget to pick up my book, What a Man Really Wants to Say About Relationships, Revised and Unapologetic, on Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, and my website, along with the social media platforms for this podcast will be in the show notes. Thanks for hanging out and listening, and remember to always be unapologetically you.